Welcome students. In this video, we shall learn about the process of nutrition in plants. It is a topic under the chapter Life Processes in the NCERT book for the class 10. So let us begin with the topic. So students, we know that nutrition in plants is autotrophic nutrition, means they prepare their own food. And the process by which they prepare their own food is called photosynthesis. Photo here means light, synthesis means to produce, to make. So the plants, they use sunlight to prepare their food in this process, and that is why this is known as photosynthesis. So what happens in this process? The green plants, they contain a pigment known as chlorophyll. So this pigment has a unique characteristic that it can absorb sunlight. So sunlight is absorbed by chlorophyll and it can be converted into chemical energy. So plant, they get water and carbon dioxide from their surrounding. For example, they get water from the soil. It is absorbed by roots and transported to the leaves. Similarly, they get carbon dioxide from air which enter through the tiny pores known as stomata. So when the green parts of plant get water and carbon dioxide and the sunlight from the sun, they prepare their food, that is glucose, and in this process oxygen is given out as a byproduct, and glucose later on is converted into starch which is stored as food for future use in various parts of the plant. So we shall discuss how this process takes place in the plants. We'll see the steps of photosynthesis. To understand photosynthesis, we must know the structure of leaf. So if here we have a leaf, and from this part, if we take a section and observe it under microscope, what do we see? We see that the leaf has layers of cell, and the upper layer is known as upper epidermis. Below this layer, there are mesophyll cells. These cells contain lots of chloroplast, and the chloroplast are the cell organelle which contain the pigment chlorophyll. And in the lower layer of these mesophyll cells, there are lots of air spaces. So this part is also known as spongy mesophyll. In the lower epidermis, we can see that there are tiny pores. These pores are called stomata. Through these pores, air enters the leaf and the leaf gets carbon dioxide from the air. Now if we see here, this is the midrib of the leaf, and we can see that the midrib contains the vascular bundle, and the component, that is xylem of the vascular bundle, brings water from the roots to the leaf. So in this way, from the lower epidermis, it is getting the carbon dioxide through air, and from the xylem it is getting the water. So now leaf is having water, carbon dioxide, and it contains pigment for trapping the sunlight. So in this way, all the requirement of photosynthesis are present with the leaf. So how these things work and how these things lead into the formation of glucose, let us see that. So now we shall discuss the important events that occur during photosynthesis. The first step or the major step in photosynthesis, of course, is the absorption of sunlight by chlorophyll. So when the sunlight falls on leaf, the chlorophyll is able to absorb it, and later on, this sunlight is converted into chemical energy, which will be further used in the next reactions taking place under photosynthesis. So the light energy is absorbed by the chlorophyll, later on converted into chemical energy. Now, second thing that happens during photosynthesis is the water so absorbed, or water so which is present in leaves is broken down, or it splits into oxygen gas and hydrogen atoms. This splitting of water takes place in the presence of sunlight. So this is known as photolysis of water. Photo means light, lysis means to break. So the water molecule breaks into oxygen gas and hydrogen atoms. This oxygen gas so formed is produced out of the leaf as a byproduct, and this is the same oxygen which we get from plants as our respiratory gas. So these two things happen in during the process of photosynthesis with the help of light energy. Now, when the splitting of water molecule has taken place, the hydrogen atom was formed. These hydrogen atoms, they combine with carbon dioxide, and we know that addition of hydrogen on any molecule is known as reduction. So we can say that here reduction of carbon dioxide is taking place, and carbohydrate, a form of carbohydrate, that is glucose, is formed in this step. So these are the main steps of photosynthesis. Now if we combine this, what we have seen that when the light is absorbed, light energy is absorbed by chlorophyll, it is later on changed into chemical energy. At the same time, light energy is used to break the water molecule into oxygen gas and hydrogen atoms. This chemical energy so formed is used for reduction of carbon dioxide to glucose. This step is not a single step. There are many reactions taking place in this step, and all these reactions are controlled by enzymes. So the light dependent step of photosynthesis produces chemical energy, and it also produces hydrogen atoms which are used to produce glucose by the plant. This glucose is converted into starch and stored as food in the plants. Now let us revise what we studied. In photosynthesis, we had two steps: light dependent step, in which there is absorption of sunlight by chlorophyll, then light energy is converted into chemical energy. At the same time, there is splitting of water molecule into oxygen and hydrogen atoms, and the oxygen is produced into the environment. In the next step, which is light independent step, means for this step to occur, the plants do not need sunlight. Here the carbon dioxide gets an hydrogen atom and it gets reduced to glucose. So if we combine the total process, we see that during photosynthesis, carbon dioxide and water molecules in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll are converted into glucose, and in this process oxygen and water are also produced. So this is the general reaction, or this is the complete reaction for the process of photosynthesis. I hope this topic is clear to you. Thank you.